Okay, so as much as I love the paper sack on my face, it actually does make it a lot easier to animate because I don't have to work on any detail on my actual face. However, I kind of want to draw my face. So I'm going to be using this time to look at other animators on YouTube, draw myself in their style, and see if I can take anything from it and then just apply it to my own. So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, I'd watch that. First on my list, we have Domix. I've been watching his animated stories since the beginning, and what I love about him is his style. If you watch his first video and compare it to his most recent, you can still see that not too much has changed. He has the same style, which is pretty simple, but detailed. I love that you can see his progression throughout the years. So I used his more recent animated version of himself, and I think it turned out pretty sick. What do you think? Pretty cool. Alright, next on the list is Erwins Story. Inspired by Domix and Swoozie, Erwins Story also has a similar style to Domix. They aren't identical by any means, but they both have a very simple overall style. It was very nice to animate myself in his version, and if anything, my animated version of myself looks identical to Erwins. It was also nice to change up the blue long sleeve and add that half zip sweatshirt I'm always wearing. I think it turned out pretty cool. Okay, next up is Dydus, one of my favorite animators. As you can see, Dydus changes up his style multiple times depending on what part of the story he's at, which is what inspired me to also do different variations of myself when I tell stories. But for this video, I'll be choosing the most simple and easier version of himself. I also love that he also uses blue outlines and not the traditional black that we see in most animators and cartoons. I also like the fact that he always animates himself wearing a hat, so I decided to draw myself in his version wearing a beanie. And I kind of like the way it turned out, but Dydus, if you're watching this, am I barnacle scum because I don't know what squid neutral means? Okay. Next on the list is Jaden animation. I really like her style, and it was a big influence on my own. My character is cartoony for sure, but I tend to overcomplicate it. Her line work is extremely smooth, the animation flows very well, and the color is used when needed. I filled in my skin pretty fast, but then had to erase it. I wanted to keep my style similar to hers, and I really like that it forced me to see what my hair would be like in her style. Because I wear the sack, I don't really know what my hair would look like, but overall, I think this character turned out great, and it looks like it could actually fit in one of her stories, so who knows. Alright, next up we have TerryTV, and like other animators, depending on where the video or the story is at, his style tends to change, and I really appreciate whenever creators aren't afraid to mix things up every now and then. But for the video, I'll be going with the easiest / favorite version of TerryTV. And like Jaden animation, it has a cartoony feel, but the proportions and style are a little bit more detailed. Some videos are colored, some videos are colored but with only one color, just different shades. Either way, it's nice, it's simple, it's entertaining. Chef kiss. And I really like TerryTV's voice. I don't like my voice all that much, it sounds like caca. But if we're being honest, I actually really liked how my character turned out. What do you guys think? Up next, we have ScribbleJuice. Honestly, so entertaining. Not everything is animated in her videos, but her style is super simple. There's a theme here. I really like the simple things in life. Drawing myself in her style was so much fun, and it gave me Gravity Falls and Steven Universe vibes. And the style also made me focus on what my hair would be like since I'm always wearing a paper sack on my head. I really liked the way it turned out. I felt like this version of myself was the most cartoony throughout the entire video. Overall, es muy bien. Next in line is Swoozie, a creator that's been on YouTube for a while now. He didn't start off with animations, but he eventually made the transition later on. I want to be like him where I can be more comfortable in front of the camera, so that way I can tell my stories where it's half animated and half of myself. And I know I said I really like the simple things in life, but I felt like this was a little bit too simple. I literally look so identical to Swoozie, except I'm wearing a blue shirt and I have a mustache. Not all his videos are so simplified like this. There's a lot of detail and editing that goes into each one of his videos. But for the version I picked, I look just like him. Still great though. Now, last on my list is the Odd Ones Out. What I like most about his style is he doesn't look like a human. His animation, stories, and humor is amazing. I drew myself in his style, and like Swoozie, I just look like the Odd Ones Out, but with a mustache. His style is unique for sure, but it's nice knowing even if you were to illustrate yourself in a different style than what most people would traditionally do, it's not going to stop you from being able to make and tell an amazing animated story. And with that conclusion, maybe the paper sack version of myself will one day be iconic? Who knows? Maybe down the line I'll animate myself without it. But for now, this baby stays. Thank you guys so much for the years of entertainment and the major influences you guys have done to lead me to where I'm at now, where I'm able to actually start animating stories of my life. And hopefully one day in the future we'll all be able to collab and animate stories together. But for now, remember, life is like a sandwich. If you eat it all at once, you're probably going to choke and die. So it's better to eat it one bite at a time. Okay, goodbye.